Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a weekly review video. Going to be having a chat with Johnny and see if anything has caught his attention this week here in Spain. Today's video is sponsored by NordVPN, and I'll tell you a little bit more about NordVPN in just a moment. So let's go to the video. Okay, Johnny, how are you this week?
Yeah, good. Good to be back again, Stu. How are you doing?
Everything going well? Good week at work?
Yeah, busy as always, but gotta stay busy, you know.
And what's caught your attention this week here in Spain?
Yeah, so not a Spanish news, but obviously in impact Spain. So obviously Boris Johnson spoke earlier this week announcing his plan for releasing the UK from lockdown, and that's going to be gradually phased over the next few months. Key dates in the context of Spain are the 17th of May, when international travel begins to start opening up, and the 21st of June, when all social restrictions come to an end. That's his plan that he's outlined. And as a result, holiday bookings have gone through the roof, really. And Spain, the likes of Marbella, Malaga, the Costa del Sol, popular destinations for those bookings.
Don't forget Benidorm.
Of course. Can't forget Benidorm.
Have you been to Benidorm?
Yeah, I went one time. It was an interesting experience. Let's say that. Quite reminiscent of the British TV show.
Did you like the place? Did you feel at home?
Maybe a bit too much at home when I went there. Yeah, I think I had to go for the experience, but it's not the place to get like the official, get a really Spanish vibe, Spanish feel, Spanish experience on holiday. So to speak.
No. Well, I suppose where you go, because Benidorm's divided into two halves. Let's say you've got the British half and then you got the Spanish half. So you can get a bit of a Spanish holiday experience there. But if you go to I think it's called Rincon de Loix or something like that, I think they call it that in Spanish, and there you get your very English holiday experience. That's right, yeah, with cheaper beer than you can probably get anywhere else in Spain. I think they were selling pints for €1 the time that I were there. Wow. So that's fairly cheap. Yeah, but on that point you mentioned, you said it might not affect Spain very much, but it will, because it means that people are going to flock to places like Spain, Portugal. As I said in a recent video, they're going to flock to all of the European tourist destinations, right?
Yeah. I mean, Spain was one of the top 5, and then Portugal and Greece were up there as well. But yeah, amongst British holiday makers, Spain obviously a very, very popular destination.
People dying for a holiday.
Naturally, yeah, myself included.
Yeah, well, that's it. But I suppose when you live in Spain, you can get a bit of sun on the old body, Johnny, although I wouldn't recommend it. But when you come from a place like Newcastle, as you do, I suppose that it's grey skies the majority of the days.
Yeah, it rains quite a lot. It's quite cold. There's a beach, but it's not quite the Costa del Sol beaches that you see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine. That's it. So is that also an opportunity for you to get home if the country opens again, or not?
Definitely something to think about, yeah, because I haven't seen my family in quite a while now. The last time I saw them in person was end of 2019, actually.
Wow.
So, yeah, I hope to get back to the UK this year and see my family in person. So yeah, maybe it's good news on that front. Yeah.
Do they come over here often?
So when I lived in France, they came out to visit me once. We used to go on holiday a lot as a family, but as my brother and I grew older, life just we had our own lives, and my parents didn't really go on holiday as a result. But yeah, now that I'm out here, they're keen to come out and visit.
That's it. And what are your favorite holiday places here in Spain? Have you been to anywhere yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so last summer I did a tour of the north with my friend in the car, and we were very impressed by Galicia. We really liked La Coruña, Pontevedra, like the northern region, and Asturias as well was really nice. Yeah. And then I went to the south as well. I went to Almeria. Not one of the more popular destinations in the south, but I really liked it. I enjoyed my time down there.
Yeah, it's desert-like down there in some parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also have the big plastic sea where they grow a lot of the fruit and vegetables. Vegetables, I think, mainly for
Yeah.
consumption in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a famous Netflix series from Spain called Mar de Plástico, which was
Yeah,
shot
that's
down
it.
there.
Plastic
So
sea. That's it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's it. That's it. It is a huge, massive plastic. Yeah.
yeah,
The what are they called? I suppose it's greenhouses at the end of the day, right? But
yeah.
cheap greenhouses. Yeah.
In English, yeah, we'd say greenhouses. I know they say invernaderos, which
Yeah.
is greenhouse. Yeah.
Now, I'll just interrupt the video there to talk about the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. Now, if you're not familiar with the term VPN, it stands for Virtual Private Network, and having one is fundamental if you want to browse the internet safely and securely, as it protects both you and your data from some of the dangers on the internet like hackers. A NordVPN will encrypt your data, and it will also hide your IP address and location, allowing you to use the internet anonymously. Nobody will be able to see your browsing history, stored passwords and usernames, private chats, online banking details, and other important information that you want to keep private. NordVPN also gives you the possibility to access servers all around the world, and with this you can bypass internet restrictions. So for example, if you want to access content in other countries that might be blocked here in Spain, like for example Netflix Australia or the BBC, you can do that with NordVPN. NordVPN can also be used on up to 6 devices, so you can have it on your computer, you can have it on your tablet, you can also have it on your phone all at the same time, meaning that you can browse the internet safely wherever you go. Now, NordVPN currently has a special offer because they're celebrating their birthday. They're offering 70% off a 2-year plan, and you'll get an extra month for free, and a special gift if you use my link and code, and you can find that in the description section below. You can try NordVPN for 30 days with no worries because they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So do yourselves a favor, click the link below, get the special offer, and try out NordVPN. Now back to the video. Yeah, so bookings are up for people from the UK, as we said, looking to get away, looking to get on holiday. And as soon as Boris Johnson gave permission the other day, I think it was on Monday, announced the 17th of May, people were relieved, started booking their holidays. That's it.
Yeah, and the stock market really liked that as well,
Oh,
particularly
really?
the tourist sector. Yeah, so the likes of Aena, Melia Hotels, and what was the other one? There was another. Let me remind myself.
Spanish company?
Yeah, Spanish company in the tourist sector. So there's Aena, Melia, and Amadeus. That was it. So Amadeus is the
software company.
has the algorithmic software behind bookings and all that.
Yeah, another Spanish company. That's right. So they obviously very happy with that announcement. Yeah. So but the only question that we have here, Johnny, is if Spain is going to open the doors, let's say, and allow people to come in, because it's not clear yet. There's been a bit of mixed messaging. We've seen the tourism minister say that she wants the country to open. I'm sure that the tourist sector is pressuring her, but the prime minister's also come out in recent times, I think, as recent as maybe a month ago, and said that he didn't expect tourism until everybody's vaccinated. So we'll see what happens there.
We will, yeah. I would say it's always better to err on the side of caution, probably. But as you say, the tourist sector, it's a vital part of Spain's economy, and
huge
to miss
lobby.
out, 14%, and to miss out on a lot of tourist revenue as a result of staying closed, it's not going to be great for the already struggling economy.
Yeah. Well, 14 or 15% of the general economy, but if you talk about places like Benidorm, Mallorca, Canary Islands, Costa del Sol, it's a lot more,
Yeah, the local economies, and the local economy, particularly in Spanish localities, I understand it plays a really big role in local life as well.
It does. That is true. All right, what else is on the list, Johnny?
Yeah, so coming back to the stock market, so there was a lot of companies on the IBEX 35 that announced their results this week.
Anything positive there? Any companies make any money?
The only one that I've seen that made that improved their results was Telefonica. So Telefonica was able to increase their net profit, but they cut their dividend to their shareholders. And the reason they did that was to be able to invest in their 5G projects and the transformation of their business, which they're going on to.
Yeah.
A lot of other companies also stayed positive, but a lot of revenue decreases. The ones I've seen, so Mediaset, the group behind TV channels Cuatro and Telecinco, were down 15% on their revenue versus last year. Obviously, advertising revenue down as a result.
Yeah.
Red Electrica was down 13%. They attributed their decrease down to transport restrictions. Who else? Iberdrola and Endesa also down.
Electric companies,
Yeah, the electric companies. And Aena actually made a loss, which was to be expected. Not as much as I think they were expecting to lose, but a loss nevertheless. Their first loss since 2012.
And I suppose those electric companies are down because of all of the companies that offices shut down last year, I suppose, right? Maybe would that be one of the reasons you think?
Yeah, I would imagine so. What was interesting though is I think so. Iberdrola had the revenues that their revenues were down, but their profit was up, and I think Endesa was similar. But the reason why I think it's difficult to guess because a lot of these annual reports, a lot of these news reports, really managed. It's all about impression management.
Yeah.
So one can only assume they found efficiencies somewhere that have boosted that business and helped it through.
No, nothing about the banks.
Kucha Bank gave their results this morning as well, I think, and they're down as well. Reason for that being, of course, the European Central Bank has forced banks almost to keep a cash reserve to avoid an extreme bailout situation in the crisis. Adding to the ongoing struggles of the banking sector.
Yeah, similar to what happened 10 years ago. That's right. So Telefonica, or are they called Telefonica or Movistar nowadays? I'm not sure. Are you a client?
I was an O2 client. So O2 and Movistar are like the different offers of the Telefonica group in Spain. But Telefonica operates, they have O2 in the UK and they have O2 in Germany as well, and Movistar in a lot of Latin America.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, so they posted a profit. It's a bit of a tricky company, Movistar. They're getting into the content game as well. They're trying to compete with Netflix and other people along those lines. And they've got a fairly big monopoly here in Spain. So, or at least they did have traditionally. It's been broken up, but they still got a fairly big market share.
Yeah, in terms of entertainment, I'd say they're one of the best. I think the Movistar Plus package is very complete. I think you can even get Netflix included in that. You got a lot of shows, a lot of good channels. They're ahead of the competitors in that respect.
And they posted the rich list. One of the newspapers posted that. I spoke about that a little bit yesterday. A fair bit of money wiped off the portfolios of Spain's richest.
I saw that, yes. A lot of these guys, obviously, their wealth is tied into their shareholdings exactly. So with the volatility of the stock market at the moment, that can change the flick of a switch almost.
That's it, yeah.
I mean, again, not relevant to Spain, but I don't know if you've followed Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos over the past couple of months, but the richest person in the world has changed 4 times in the space of 2 months because of stock market volatility.
Yeah. I understand that is the case. Because those guys are both got those companies that are growing very, very quickly, Amazon and Tesla, of course.
Yes.
So the rich list getting, the rich people here in Spain getting a fair bit of wealth wiped off. But I suppose what's 20 billion when you've got 80, right?
Yeah. And to be honest, over the long term, the stock market tends to always recover in a crisis.
That's right. That's it.
So this is a temporary hit for them in a sense.
But it's amazing to see that rich list because you've got this guy Ortega, who's the head of
Inditex.
Inditex. he's 10 times richer than anybody else in the country. I think he's got something like 65 million, and the next person down's only around 8. Which is the guy from Mercadona. So it's a huge difference. Yeah.
It is, yeah. And Amancio Ortega, I think there was one point when he was in one of the top 5 in the world.
That's right. Yeah, he was in the top 5 there for a while. That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. Good. What else is on the list, Johnny?
Yeah, so let's come back to the banks. So something I've spotted recently, more so at the start of this year, but even going on now, is a lot of banks have some very enticing welcome offers, or they might call you up and say, "Oh, we've got this offer going on. Does it interest you?" And that might be in the form of a welcome bonus if you set it up as the account where your paycheck comes in, or if you sign up for a particular credit card,
mortgage, all of those things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's all to do with trying to get the banking sector going again, because interest rates are obviously at all-time lows right now, particularly in Europe.
But they've been low. They've been low for 10 years now, though, right?
Oh yeah, since the financial crisis, they've been very low. But interest, and investing, it's like one of the ways that banks will make money. So my take is that these welcome offers are to try and get you in, and then they'll try and get you money from like credit cards or from investing commissions, because those are the two ways that those are the two main offers that I've seen. Investing.
The banking sector is under enormous pressure at the moment to consolidate. They're talking about inter-European mergers as well, more mergers here in Spain. It's like you said, they have to sell products now because they don't have that interest rate mechanism to make money. Because imagine 30 years ago, a banker went to bed at night, woke up, millions of euros richer just simply because of those interest rates. But now they have to, push the products, and it's not easy. It's a stressful business.
Yeah, it is indeed. Don't get me wrong, though. Some of these offers are actually very interesting. I think as a consumer, you just have to be careful not to get drawn into their game and get carried away and
they used to be
too much credit.
Obviously, you won't remember this, Johnny, but when I first came to Spain, the banks used to give away like frying pans, and maybe if you were lucky, you'd get a television, or you'd get a set of pots and pans and things like that, or a coffee machine. That used to be their draw card back in the day, but they're a bit more sophisticated now, trying to give you some type of maybe even offer you some type of interest on your money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I actually did a video on my channel where I covered a lot of them across Europe. But yeah, Spain there was a lot. I was very surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it there. But the banking sector has consolidated in the last 10, 15 years. I think we're down to a handful of banks in the country, basically. And there's a few European banks starting to come in. There's one called N26, which looks quite attractive to the younger generations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's Open Bank as well. Santander have now launched their digital bank.
They're going hard as well. They're trying to conquer Europe. Yeah,
it is a very interesting offer, actually. Some of the interesting offers that I've seen, they are with Open Bank, and it's a very interesting platform, I must say. Mm-hmm. Someone actually contacted me from the previous video and asked my opinion on Open Bank. And,
really?
Yeah, my opinion. Yeah, it's a good bank.
So you'd recommend Open Bank?
I could, yeah. Well, officially no, but yeah, that's my disclaimer.
That's right. Yeah, we don't recommend any financial companies here. That's right.
Exactly.
But not necessarily that particular bank, but compared to from traditional banking to online banking, that could be something to look at, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think some of the major players like the Caixa banks, I think Caixa Bank is still a bit left behind, but the likes of BBVA are starting to catch on to how banking is changing, and they're trying to move a bit more onto these more digital offers, these offers to get younger people in. Yeah,
well, that's the future, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the future. Yeah, I recently changed banks. I went to one of the big banks. I got sick of the bank that I was dealing with for a long time. Nobody ever calls me, basically because I don't have any money, Johnny. So I never get any phone calls. So if banks are calling you, it must mean that you've got something that they want. That's it.
Perhaps could be the case, yeah.
It must be. It must be. All right, good. Anything else, Johnny?
That was all I had on my list, Stu.
All right, so
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up this week. A little bit shorter than last week, but there's no problem with that. It's just a little bit less for the viewers to watch, that's all. So, good talking to you again, Johnny, and we'll be in contact for next week, and hopefully we have some more interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, likewise, Stu. You
All
take
right,
care.
see you later, Johnny. Have a good one. See you later. Bye-bye. So there we go, this week's Week in Review. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the situation out as you normally do. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.